Hi Gemini, happy February. I hope you're doing well. Okay. All right. You guys, I have 2 more videos to do after you, but this is the first reading where I feel it's different. It's like you're trying to find a breath of fresh air. Or I should say, you are your own breath of fresh air, okay? I think you're in a place where let's just go through your messages. I just want to say this, okay, before I start this video. I am in no way pro, con, fidelity, infidelity. I am just your messenger, okay? But I have been doing this long enough to know, and I'm a big enough person to say this, okay? Sometimes things are not always black and white, right? Sometimes it's not, you cheated on me, I cheated on you. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes these situations present themselves in forums where there's growth there in different areas, right? Sometimes our relationships, again, I'm just the messenger, but I know what I'm talking about, okay? And I think if you stop for a minute, you'll see this too. If you look back on things in your life, right? Again, I'm treading really lightly here because I'm not quite sure how to word this so that everyone understands what I'm saying. But sometimes when relationships, marriages, whatever, go awry, it's not really for the reasons that we think they are, right? When someone cheats on us, or we, cheat on someone else, or whatever the dynamic is there, it's like the other person, sometimes it isn't what it is about, you know what I mean? Like relationships sometimes are the catalyst to get us on a more spiritual path. You know what I mean? Or to get us our career moving, or something other than what it appears to be, right? Sometimes things like that aren't really what they appear to be. And that's what I think is kind of happening here. I think that places where you may have settled before, you're not willing to settle anymore. And sometimes that upsets things on the home front. Right? Sometimes fated events or fated people or whatever. Soulmates are relationships that come into our lives when they're meant to come into our lives. They're people that come into our lives to teach us whatever. The length, the time, the circumstances is different to everyone. But fated events are exactly that, right? They're not always relationships that are meant to last forever. They're relationships that get us to say, they sometimes are the relationship or something that crosses our path that really shakes us awake to really just see. It may be the only route that the universe could use to say, hey, look what you're settling for. You know what I mean? So it gets your heart pumping again, and it gets you back into the race, and it shows you, I am alive. I've just been in a relationship that has been long past the expiration date. It's just an example I'm using because I feel very strongly that that's what you're going for. And I think that in the past you may have, I think what's going on in here is you, your partner, somewhere in this equation, they're confused, or they're confused by your actions, or vice versa. Either way, I think you're confusing each other, right? I think, though, you want to keep a handle on this. And I say that only because I think that it may be flowing over into your career arena, right? Where you don't want people really, you just want to try to anyway, separate those 2 areas, okay? I think where people are expecting your head to pop off, your head's not going to pop off, because this is, it's ironically, as sometimes in the middle of a shitstorm, we're at our best. It's like, it's cool, it's calm, you're composed, it just is what it is. And I think sometimes we shock ourselves. That's where I think you're at. Okay. I feel someone may work in the medical arena, like they may be a surgeon, a doctor. They work in the medical arena, and maybe your career was front and center, and at the time maybe, you know, it was supposed to be, and it threw a wrench into your relationship, right? Something is outdated here. Let's just say that. I'm not sure what area of your life needs an upheaval, but I think that someone may have crossed your path that lit a fire under you, right? Like they lit a fire in your heart that you haven't felt in a very long time. And that doesn't mean that they're your forever person. It doesn't mean you leave your spouse for this one person. That's where I was going at the beginning of this. Sometimes people are just catalysts. They come in to show us, hey, you still have a pulse, right? So that sometimes is what happens. I'm not an advocate, and I'm putting this out here because I feel someone may do this. And I feel that you're at the threshold of your life going in a big jump, right? As far as growth goes. But my fear here for you is that you're going to misinterpret the signs the universe is sending you, right? I think they may be sending you a person, right? But I don't think the person is supposed to be. I think the event is faded, the person is faded, the encounter is faded, but I don't think the relationship is faded. You don't want to jump from one relationship into another, because what the universe is trying to show you is the piece of you in the middle here that needs the work. It's you, but the universe is using your relationships to get you to see that, right? Look at this person, whoever this is that crossed your path, got you, you know, shook you awake. What did they awaken in you? Because that is where you need to go inside and figure out why you ever let the light go out there, right? And where do I need to retweak my life to allow for that, right? If your relationship was on life support on the home front, but you were working, you know, an overabundant amount of hours or whatever, and that's where the scales started to turn a little bit, you need to look at, you know, is a relationship that important to me? Maybe sometimes it's not, right? But whatever it is, you're in a situation here that's expired. All right. And I think that you need to move ahead, and I think you're going to do it. Right. And I think that you're going to do it in a way that is honoring to everyone. I don't see fights. I don't see, you know, big upheavals. I see peace. I see calm. I do. It's like, again, it's that deafening silence in a snowstorm. There's no malice here. You know, it's not you did to me, I did to you. It just is. And when relationships change, right, it doesn't mean we need to hate the person. It just means, you know, it is what it is. And the older we get, I think the more that we live lives, not age, but it's just the older we get, the more in life we are, the more we just realize these things. And I think that someone may have crossed your path that lit something up within you. And I think either your current partner is wondering what, they're noticing something's going on with you, but they're not quite sure what that is. Or it's you realizing these things about yourself and you're not quite sure what that's about, right? It would be the same feeling that I would get here. But I think that, I think you're very psychic. I think that, I think there's action going on here. I think, take your time with this. Don't blow through the speed barriers. This is growth for you. This is positive for you. It's positive, okay? There's no rush here. So take your time, because I feel in here there's a big lesson for you that changes your life for the better. So don't blow through it, or you're going to miss parts of the lesson, okay? Uncertainty, confusion. I get that. I feel that. I think there's new job opportunities for some of you. Again, it's all in this scenario here, right? Nothing is right or wrong. Nothing is right or wrong, okay? It's never good to hurt someone. No, we don't try to do that. But sometimes, inevitably, we just tack up the carnage. Sometimes it really, guys, it just happens. Let's just be honest here, okay? But I think that either you got something through a dream, you may have been sitting outside at night. I think the revelation comes somewhere at night. You may be walking to your car too, right? And you know, something just comes out of the blue, or you hear something, or you're divinely connected here. And I think that you may have let that fall by the wayside. Okay. I think that someone, like I say, is sacrificing here in love, in relationships, right? Example would be, if career is that important to you, again, this is a general reading. I'm going to make it short. But if you want a private reading, we can look into this. But sometimes not everyone is meant to be married. Sometimes people that are married both have jobs that they're away all of the time. It's just, you know, as you grow, things change. And sometimes people grow together. Sometimes they grow apart. I'm putting this like this because I don't want you to beat yourself up over this. I can kind of feel that coming in here. All right. But it's seasons and timing, and it is what it is, right? I think there are changes within family units, okay? I think there's difficult commitments. I think there are painful relationships. I think there is remorse in here, okay? You're all going to need to gather that on your own, you know. But I'm trying to put this out here in a way because I feel this energy, and in no way is there any ill will, malice in here. This is growing pains, is what this is, and it's changes, and it throws off routines, and this is what it is, okay? Okay, I think there are troubles here. I think there are confusions. I think there's instability. They're all things that come in the midst of all this, okay? But let's go through your cards now, and I'll pull clarifiers on this too. But those were your messages, and they're more so the feelings that I'm getting here. And I think that if you don't let fear stop you here, this is a game changer for you, okay? So, all right, we come in with the energy of the the Three of Coins. Okay, Three of Coins. Okay. That I feel is just looking at something differently. Okay, but let's behind it is the King of Cups. Okay. I don't know why I feel the need to tell you that, but there you go. Okay, now we come in with the Ten of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Okay. Let's just go through the cards, and I'll tell you what I think here. In the past, again, you've got the High Priestess here. That can be your intuition, or it can be a secret relationship. All right, it can be. Just putting it out there. Okay. Where you're anchored here is the Five of Cups. And that's what I feel. Okay. But that's sometimes, it's not, it's just how you feel sometimes when things are just, you know, like the last day of school, and I'm not equating a marriage to the last day of school. I'm just saying, you know, or like when you read a book and you get to the last page, or you see a movie and it's like it's ended now. You know what I mean? It's like when you're really engrossed in something, you're really in something, and it comes to an end. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just endings are, there's no words sometimes, right? All right. Now what crowns your reading here is the King of Coins. Logical, grounding, sees the value of value, sees the value in value, right? In here. Now what's coming up for you, 6 months to a year, okay, you've got the Three of Wands. And that is what I think you're doing. I think you're going to be putting legwork into this, into what it is that you're trying to bring forward here, okay? It could be an actual, I feel it is an actual physical move, okay? Now, how you are feeling right now, your self-value, how you see yourself, is the Five of Coins. All right? Take these people. Take the people out. There's the Five of Coins, okay? What this card really means is, I'm not going to settle anymore. I'm not going to settle anymore. period. For a job that's not paying you, for a relationship that's not paying you, there's value in that 5 of coins. And when you get there, it's like, you know what, I've got to upset the 4 of coins, right? The 4 of coins is stability. You've got to go through the upset to get to the next step, right? It's like going upstairs. You've got to, you know, you've got to keep going. Stairs aren't meant to lock down on. They're how we get where we're going, right? I hope I'm bringing you some peace in this, because it's not easy, okay? All right, now, your reputation, how people are seeing this, is the Knight of Coins. It's slow moving. It's progression. It's I'm going to make wise choices for myself. I'm not going to jump, right? Very, very grounding cards. Very, very thought out cards, okay? Now, your hopes and fears, the things you really, you know, you've got the Justice card. I'm going to do this in a way, whatever it is to you, that's self-honoring, right? We want to remember that with this card too, there's karma in there, and that's just consequence. So we want to do things in the right way, right? And that's why too, I didn't even see this card when I just felt the need to get that out at the beginning of this video. You know, sometimes people are so quick to judge, and so quick to judge other people, and so quick to cast a stone, that sometimes you've got to take a minute to realize that, you know, sometimes things are bigger than just what they appear to be, right? So that's where I'm going with that. So the Justice card is, you know, it's your hopes and your fears. It's the things you dare to dream for yourself. It's the things that, oh, could I actually do this? You can, for sure. Okay. This can also be in here. It can be maybe someone catches wind of something here, right? And maybe that's why they're looking at you confused, or you're confused. It can be, you know, someone really confused could be what it is, right? Just someone really feeling confused and not knowing either whether to trust your intuition or not. I can tell you straight out, you're extremely intuitive. I think you had I think you followed your intuition, but at some point in time, I feel like your life just not flopped, but just, you weren't as in it. It's like those times in life where we're just so, whatever, where we're just going to bed, waking up, going to bed, waking up, and the days are a blur. We're missing them, and we can't get them back. And that could be where the remorse is too, that, you know what, I missed a lot of something. You know, like I missed a lot of something, you know. Okay, now on the outbound, you've got the Page of Wands. Creative ideas, wanting to do something more, just not quite knowing exactly what that is yet, okay? Let me pull some clarifiers here. All right, I want to see really where you're coming in with this Ten of Swords, because the Ten of Swords is like, it can be, you know, a lot of times too, maybe why I'm getting the surgeon kind of deal. The surgeon, I saw a surgeon, medical, is because maybe you had a near-death experience, right? And now it's making you say, you know, it makes you see life a little bit differently, okay? Let's see. There could be money issues in here too, I'm not going to lie. But if there are, they're not permanent. Just keep an eye on them for now, right? But I don't feel that there is. I think that you may be thinking, how can I afford this? You'll be able to, okay? But again, this is a general reading. But I don't feel hiccups here. I just think that it may be too where, you know, maybe you're Maybe you're a widow, right? And you're thinking, that's a tough one. I feel, like I said, this isn't I can always tell when something's brewing and I'm trying to brace you guys for it. This isn't that feeling. This is a realization of it is what it is, right? All right. I want to see the Ten of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Okay. All right. How you see things as the Five of Coins, I have as the clarifier. I also have the Page of Wands. I'm sorry, the Knight of Wands, and I have the Eight of Coins. For some of you, your careers, you're going to start to see payoff like that. For others of you, again, and this is what I felt coming in here, I think you are going to know the real value of value. Meaning people, you're going to know the real value of people. You're going to know the real value of tangibles, money. You're going to know the real value of time. And again, I think that the person, if there is actually a physical person in here, I know there is, I feel it. That's not the person. I can tell you that in this general reading. That's not the person you're going to end up with. It's the catalyst to get you where you need to go. Okay? Let me do the King of Coins up here. Okay. Magician, Strength, and Temperance. That's a lot. That's 3 trumps clarifying the King of Coins. Hang on a second. I think it's you taking power, and by that I mean sometimes it's just Temperance and the Strength card together, they're opposites. Temperance is saying no. Strength is physically going, right? It's I'm doing this. Temperance is having the inside strength. It's masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine strength is what Temperance and Strength are together. And you've got the Magician. You can make this decision. Those are 3 power hitters, okay? You just need to find new confidence in yourself, okay? Okay. Let me see what this 5 of Cups is here. It's in your foundation, so it's, if someone is guilting you into something, don't, you have those 3 trumps crowning your reading for a reason. Okay. Oh, Gemini. Good. Okay. 5 of Coins, 5 of Cups, where you're anchored. Okay. This is what this is all about. Where we're anchored, it's what it's all about, always, because it's been sitting here, under the surface, under the surface. This is what you're building this house on, you, right? You've got the Judgment card, the High Priestess, which you've got here, and you've got the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands. Don't hesitate, because here you've got the 3 of Wands. Okay? You need to take action with that card, though. Okay? And you've got the High Priestess. You may be having some funky dreams, too. By the way, just write them down. Write them down, go over them. They'll piece themselves together, I have a feeling. Okay. You know, I think with the Judgment card, you've got the Judgment card and the Justice card. That's heavenly justice and universal. It's, again, you've got polarities here. The universe is working with you. You've got strength and temperance. You've got justice and judgment. And you've got the High Priestess in here. This is a spiritual. And by that I mean your life is going in the direction that it should be. It's like the Mother May I Jump, whatever that game was. That's what you're doing. This is a big jump for you. Oddly, with all of this going on and all of this, you're at peace. You are at peace. Okay? Alright, I needed to see this because that could very easily hold you up. Alright, but I think that something too within yourself, a self-realization, surprises you. I think you've already gotten that, and I think you are surprised at how, I think other people too are going to be a little surprised at how you are calm. You're calm. You're just calm. That's not normal for a Gemini. I mean, we normally are calm, but this is like, people are watching you and they're like, you know, but their head's not popping off. Because you're there. You're there, right? You're there. Get it? You're here. You're your own twin flame here. Okay. Let me just clarify the Justice card. Because that could be a fear spot too. Fear will paralyze us, right? Okay. The Emperor. The Page of Swords, and the Three of Swords. I think someone's playing, you've got pain in here. I think someone, though, is playing a guilt trip on you. The Page of Swords, get your heart and your mind. Think with your heart, okay? And the Emperor sometimes is just, maybe you need some guidance here. I would seek out maybe some guidance, you know, in here. It may be over some legal situations too, like this, right? Maybe some legal, how do I do this and not, you know, that might be what it is too. The Emperor upright, and it's a balanced mix in here, is that I'm thinking logically. You're not jumping. You're going slow. You're balanced. You're at peace. I'm not going to say there's going to be, you know, pain in here, of course, right? But it's not, you've got to find a place for it or it's going to hold you up here. That I can feel too, because this is a pretty big jump. Okay, so there you go. If you need a private reading, I'll be more than happy to do anything for you, but you've got some universal guidance behind you. Trust in yourself. Okay? All right, Gemini, thank you so much.